Hey everybody, welcome to Hockey Skate Down. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. So I want to do a video on the Devils with free agency right around the corner. Who can the Devils look at to really improve this roster? So in this video, I want to talk about Tyler Bertuzzi. Tyler Bertuzzi is a name that's out there on the open market. A lot of teams are going to be looking at him to solidify their lineup. So I want to see, is it worth it for the Devils to go after this player? So let's talk about it in this video. So please stay with me throughout. So the Devils have around $34 to $35 million in cap space in between to work with this offseason. They have a lot of moves to make. They have a lot of key UFAs that need a new deal. Are the Devils going to keep them? Are they going to sign them? Are they going to sign them long-term, or are they going to let them walk? So in this video, I want to mention Miles Wood because, with the playoffs the way it went, the last couple of games entering the playoffs, Miles Wood ramped up his play a bit, but in the playoffs, at times he was held out of the lineup and at times wasn't even that noticeable. So, with Miles Wood, I think it's safe to say it's pretty easy this offseason to walk away from him. And Tyler Bertuzzi slots right into not into that role. He's not going to play a fourth line role, but he can play anywhere up and down the lineup. And with Miles Wood gone, you have Curtis Lazar that you acquired last season at the trade deadline. He can slot into that fourth line to play with McLeod and Bastian, and that's a cheaper option, and it helps out with our cap situation, as Miles Wood had a contract last year for $3.2 million. I think Curtis Lazar is at $1 million, so, you're saving a couple million right there. So, with Tyler Bertuzzi, he's a winger who can play the left or the right side. He can play your first line, your second line, he can play third line. He can play anywhere in your lineup, and I really like the way he plays. He adds versatility, he adds physicality, and he could also put the puck in there. He's got a strong shot. So, looking at the differences, Miles Wood was 27 years old. Well, he is 27 years old. Tyler Bertuzzi's 28. Miles Wood 6'2", 195. Tyler Bertuzzi is 6'1", 199. And looking at the price between the two, $3.2 million versus $4.75 million. So, Bertuzzi is the better player. He can score more, provide a lot more offense than Miles Wood did. But he comes at a price. And what price is that going to be entering next season? Tyler Bertuzzi listed as a left wing, right wing, so he adds versatility. He's 28 years old, 6'1", 199 pounds. His current contract, which he's a UFA, so the contract he held last year carried a cap hit of $4.75 million. So he's definitely going to get a raise from that. Joe Haggerty came out and said that he's looking to get more than he had on his current deal. So, what are you expecting to get from a Tyler Bertuzzi? I think the Devils might look to sign him, possibly a 3-year deal in the $5.5 million range. So the Devils who do have the cap space to do that. They have a glaring need for other depth in this lineup, as it proved, watching the games of the playoffs. If the Devils had a bit more depth in their lineup, maybe they could have did a bit more against the Hurricanes. But, that's something they could work on in the offseason. You saw who you wanted to keep around, and you saw what areas you need to improve to head back into the playoffs for possibly next season. So, looking at Tyler Bertuzzi, looking at his stats, this past year, 2022-2023, he split time with the Boston Bruins and the Detroit Redwings. He lastly played with the Boston Bruins. 21 games with them he played. He had 4 goals, 12 assists, 16 points. He played 29 games with the Detroit Redwings. 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points. So he had 30 points in 50 games played. In 2021-2022, it was his most productive year. He played in 68 games played with the Detroit Red Wings, 30 goals, 32 assists for 62 points. So he had 62 points in 68 games played. Curious to see what he would have done if he played the full year. And in 2020-2021, he played in 9 games, 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points. So over his career, he's played in 325 games, 92 goals, 126 assists, 218 points. Looking at his playoffs, he had a stellar year in the playoffs this year. 7 games played, 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points. Looking at his career, as far as his points, he hit the 20-goal mark 3 times in his career. He hit the 30-goal mark 1 time in his career. But looking at his games played, he hasn't played more than He's played 50-plus games 4 times in his career and 60-plus games 3 times in his career. So he's battled injuries throughout his career, and he had other issues arise as he hasn't played a full year in a long time. So that's something that the Devils have to worry about if they're looking to sign, or any team looking to look into Tyler Bertuzzi. He has had an injury history, and he hasn't really played a lot during each calendar year. So that's definitely something to consider. But he plays an agitator role. He plays hard. With the agitator role, you saw what he did with Nick Cousins' stick, where he stole it from him during the playoffs. So he can play that role, and the Devils do need that sort of player, especially if they might lose Miles Wood. Miles Wood did do the same type of thing where he was an agitator. He fought. I know McLeod and Bastian do that as well, but I think Miles Wood fought a bit more throughout the year. Tyler Bertuzzi has been known to throw his fists around. He does fight. He can provide scoring. He's got a hell of a shot. He plays hard every night. He plays hard every shift, and he battles. He competes, and he can skate with the puck, and he can shoot. So I like what Tyler Bertuzzi adds. I like the way he plays the game. He plays it tough. He plays it hard, and I think we need this sort of player, especially in the playoff run. So we'll see what happens with this. Joe Haggerty did say that the Boston Bruins likely cannot re-sign Orlov, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Garnet Hathaway. So, I don't see the Bruins throwing a big contract at him, knowing that they have certain cap situations with their team as well. Can he return to the Detroit Red Wings? That's always a possibility, but I think a lot of teams are going to be throwing their hat in the ring for Tyler Bertuzzi, because he's a good offensive player, and he can provide that physical game that a lot of teams lack, especially the New Jersey Devils. So we'll see what happens with this. I'm going to do a series of videos of, who the Devils can look at in the offseason, whether it's trade, whether it's free agent signings. I think it's players that can help the Devils. Of course, I don't want to get all of them, but, I like to do different names just in case the Devils are looking in this route or that route. So, stay with me throughout the summer. I'll do more of these videos as the summer progresses. So comment below what you think about the Devils possibly looking into Tyler Bertuzzi. Comment below and let me know. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your time. Smash that like button if you haven't done so, and subscribe to the Hockey Skate Down. It's free, and join a hockey team. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great night. Take it easy. Stay safe.